Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Daniel Meyer. I'm the Public Information Officer for San Diego Police. Thank you all for joining us today for the 2023 Annual Crime Briefing. Before I turn it over to Chief Nisley and Mayor Gloria, I'd like to note for you all that our reporting may look a little different this year. This is the first briefing that we are reporting our numbers based on the National Incident-Based Reporting System, NIBRS. NIBRS breaks crimes in more categories, allowing a more comprehensive and dynamic understanding of crimes. Crimes against persons, such as assault, homicide, and kidnapping. Crimes against property, such as burglary, theft, arson, and others. And crimes against society, such as alcohol and drug-related crimes, weapon offenses, prostitution, and gambling, etc. What's important to know is that the report today should not be compared to previous crime reports using the UCR reporting summary. After comments, we will take a few questions, and I will turn it over to Chief David Nisley.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you all for being here this morning. Today, I'm glad to be joined by Mayor Todd Gloria to announce our 2023 annual crime statistics. Today, I'm proud to report that we saw a decrease in overall crime in 2023 by 2.7%. This is a decrease in crime for the second year in a row. As Lieutenant Meyer mentioned, we are reporting slightly different this year, but it should provide a more comprehensive report. As far as the statistics, before we jump into the crime stats, the first statistic I want you to hear about is how San Diego PD is solving crime. San Diego PD can proudly say that we're above the national average in several categories. For example, San Diego PD's murder clearance rate is 84.4%. The national average is 50%. For robbery, San Diego PD is at 36% solve rate. The national average is 24.1%. For arson, our PD average is 45%, national average is 25.5%. And now I'll get into the actual crime stats. For crimes against persons, as Lieutenant Myers just mentioned, assault, homicide, kidnapping, we saw a very minor decrease overall, but one big category, murders, were decreased by 13.5%, or 7 fewer cases. Of those 45 homicide cases, 6 were confirmed to be associated with gang activity, and 5 were associated with family domestic violence. Sexual assaults decreased by 16.2%. Now I'll get into crimes against property, and that is burglary, theft, arson. Overall, that was down 5.7% this year. And then crimes against society, which is a new category. That is alcohol, drug-related crimes, weapon offenses, prostitution, gambling, etc. We saw an increase in 4.6 overall. Some other great news. Overall, our non-fatal shootings decreased by 23 cases, which is a 12% decrease when compared to 2022. Crimes committed by gang members decreased 12%, and number of documented gang members decreased by 20%. Those are all great stats. Areas where we saw an increase. Our hate crimes increased from 38 cases in 2022 to 66 cases in 2023. Race accounted for 38% of those hate crimes. Religious bias accounted for 27% of the hate crimes, with nearly half of those being anti-Semitic. Those crime rates that I talk about when we look at, when I get to the violent rate of the violent crime rate of 4.4 per 1,000 residents is one of the lowest crime rates per population in the nation, and in fact is the lowest of the top 10 cities in America. Just yesterday, we launched a new dashboard that also breaks down San Diego PD crimes in a more visual way, so I encourage all of you to visit our website. Things that we're doing to address crime. We're focusing on intelligence-led policing. We continue to engage with our communities. Our teams continue to recover firearms, 1,992 illegal guns, and 338 unserialized ghost guns were recovered last year. And then we're continuing with large-scale operations. Several that I'll mention: the arrest of 17 Hells Angels related to a racially motivated attack in Ocean Beach, and we've done several large-scale narcotic investigations to crack down on the proliferation of drugs in our communities. In conclusion, the men and women of the San Diego Police Department put on their uniforms every day with one goal in mind, and that is keeping our communities safe. This is proven by the fact that San Diego remains one of the safest large cities in America year after year, despite continued staffing shortages. This is also a testament to proactive police work to prevent crimes from occurring and the investigative tools to hold those criminals accountable. As always, we need everybody's help. So if you see something, please say something. And if you see something, please talk to one of our investigators. And with that, now it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Todd Gloria.
Very good. Thank you, Chief, and good morning, everyone. As mayor, I've made it clear that the number one role of government is to keep our public safe. And so it's no accident that this is the second year in a row that we've seen crime trend down in San Diego after a surge during the pandemic. This is intentional. This is what we've been working for. In all of my city budgets, we have proposed additional increases for our police department to ensure that our officers have the resources they need to protect the public and to fight crime. These investments that we've made in public safety are paying off. We are seeing success in recruitment and retention efforts. This January, we launched the first in the nation child care facility for officers of children to help reduce the burden that non-traditional shift work has on police officers and their families. We're working to ensure that the tools that are in place so that our officers can work more efficiently and effectively, that most specifically the introduction recently of smart streetlights across our city. In just a short amount of time, this technology has already helped us to solve dozens of very serious crimes in our city. Our law enforcement here in San Diego is second to none, and that's why we are one of the safest big cities in the United States. I want to point out that that is also a direct result of the fact that we have incredible leadership here at the San Diego Police Department, and we have a very hardworking chief in our Chief of Police, David Nisleit. I can provide the direction, but at the end of the day, that direction has to be translated into meaningful action, and it requires a steady hand and a strong leadership at the top of the department to get the job done. Since Chief Nisleit took the helm here at SDPD, he has provided that kind of leadership that has been necessary to deliver the results that we're proud to announce to the public today. As Chief knows, and many of you know, this will be the last time that we stand together to provide this annual crime statistic information to San Diego. I'd like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks for Chief Nisleit and his leadership of the San Diego Police Department and his 36 years of service to our great city. These statistics today are proof of his strong leadership and the incredible department that he helps lead. To every one of the men and women who make up the San Diego Police Department, you have the respect and admiration of this mayor, and I think I speak on behalf of the City Council. We'll continue to have their backs because they're out there doing the hard work of keeping us safe. These stats today are, I think, something that San Diegans can be very proud of, but recognize and know that this chief and this mayor are never satisfied. One crime is too many, and we'll continue to do whatever it takes to keep San Diego safe. That work continues, but today is a good day to share some information with the public and ask for your continued partnership. Working together, we will keep San Diego one of America's safest big cities. With that, I'll turn it back over to Chief Nisleit.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm going to introduce Jordan. He's our IT and crime analysis. All these reports are done through Jordan, his incredible team. So, Jordan, I want to thank you. He's going to explain NIBRS a little bit more because it's pretty sophisticated stuff, and so he's going to explain to you NIBRS, and then we'll open up to questions.
Good morning. Just a couple highlights that we want to keep in mind for the public going forward with respect to NIBRS as it's translating from the historical summary reporting system, as we call it. To kind of emphasize what the chief had covered briefly, right, we have a lot more crime categories. What that affords us the opportunity to do is get a much more comprehensive picture of crime within our city. We're talking about specifically to reported crimes, which can now be drilled down to the neighborhood level. They're much more dynamic. These crime stats are being updated daily, both at the state and the national level, as well as within our products. So our intention with these statistics going forward is to not only provide you with a much more detailed and comprehensive and up-to-date picture of crime, but to also coincide it with more products that are coming out, like our crime dashboard that was launched yesterday, in which citizens can both look at the citywide crime statistics like we've looked in the past, as well as at the neighborhood level, drilling down to different crime types, different locations, down to your individual neighborhood, as well as different date ranges. The idea, again, to provide more transparency for the city with what's going on with respect to the city, as well as what's going on with respect to your local neighborhood with crime trends. So I am happy to answer any questions for myself or for the chief and the mayor, and thank you.